Hi and a warm welcome back to the garden. In this video I'm going to be planting these beautiful Rudbeckia plants in the border behind me just to fill in some of the gaps. In my experience, it's been one of the worst years for some of the devastation that we've seen with our prize plants, and even some plants that don't normally get affected have been affected this year. One of the plants I'm talking about is Rudbeckia fulgida deamii, and that is normally quite a slug-proof plant. There are different types of Rudbeckias you can grow, and deamii is one of the least affected plants that get affected by slugs. But this year it has been very difficult and we've not been able to grow it to its full splendour. So what we've done is we've gone out and we've bought some new plants to fill the gap of where the plants would be, because we don't want to have gaps in the border for the rest of the summer. And if you do go out and buy plants at this time of year, it's a really good thing to do because you can see where gaps are and you can plug them up, and it just makes your border look so much fuller. So the plants I've gone for are lovely and mature, nice and tall, and these were actually bought from one of our local nurseries, Arley Hall Nursery. And if you've not been to Arley Hall Nursery, it is well worth a visit. Their hardy perennials are second to none. They are just beautiful specimens, lovely healthy plants, and a reasonable price. So we've got 3 of these to plug up the space. Another plant which has had a lot of issues this year is the Salvia Caradonna Pink Inspiration, and this for us last year was just an absolute dream. This whole border behind me, this space, was filled with these lovely pink, lovely spires, and this year it's just managed to get the one flower so far out. And every night when I come out trying to remove the slugs, there's always a few slugs that are on the plant trying to nobble it. So it has had real big difficulties. So my first task that I'm going to do is take the plant out, and I've bought a new tin container for this, and I'm going to be planting that in this container, and I'll be able to put that up somewhere high and hopefully the slugs won't be getting to it. So let's get this one out, because that needs to be rescued. Take the whole plant and I will pot that up in a little while. But as you can see, there is quite now a big space to fill. And what I'm looking for in this bit of border is some yellow. So we have the orangey kind of crocosmia behind, we have the red of the persicaria, and we have the beautiful blue of the geranium roseanne. But what I want is a splash of yellow, and that is going to surround this area and just make it look much more fuller. So I'm going to place the plants out first. So I want one about there, that's trying to get round there, one about there, and see if I can fit one in just in front there. So obviously when these are planted they'll be a little bit lower in the ground once the pot is obviously taken off and they're planted in the soil. And these are already starting to develop their flower buds. And on this one we do have some flower buds trying to form, but as you can see it has suffered with the slugs and it's not growing as anywhere near as tall as it would normally be at this time of year. And again, it's not something we normally see getting affected by the slugs because these leaves are a bit on the furry side, so they're normally not too bad. So let's get planting. Now I'm one of those gardeners that if I can get away with using a trowel, I will do. I don't particularly like using a spade, and if I can, I like the idea of getting really intimate with the plants. So if I can get away with using a small trowel, that is what I will try and do. And that's what I'm going to do with these. I'm just going to release some of these roots so I can get them out of the pot. There we go. Lovely root system. And we just want to be just tearing some of those roots a little bit to make it stop going round in circles and to penetrate the soil that it's going into. And then we just dig a nice sizable hole. And that's another reason why I prefer to use a trowel, because I do like to be doing this kneeling down rather than bending down with a big spade. It does help with any issues with back pain. So I'm digging a nice big hole. And this ground, as you can hear, is quite stony. So it does have good drainage. I think that should be okay for the first one. Out it pops. And these are just going to look splendid. So I'm planting it about the same distance it was in the pot it was growing in initially. And what we may need to do as this progresses and grows is make sure that we give it some support, because these will get heavier and start to go forward a little bit. So it might need a bit of a support just to keep it in place. Take these out. Now that I know where they're going. And this is quite a beast of a persicara behind, so we do need to keep making sure that it is not taking over too much of the front of the border. So I do keep moving the stake and just making sure it's growing a little bit more upright rather than approaching too far forward in this border here. Allows me to get this other plant a little bit further back. Doesn't look too bad on the base. Off it pops. Release some of these lovely roots. And in it goes. And you can just see instantly, this is really filling the gap really well. And the last one can just go here. Doesn't seem to want to come out. Let's tease these roots out a little bit. There we go. And you get a good feel when you take a plant out of a pot when you first buy it for the kind of way it grows. So as you can see on this one, you've got lots and lots of small little plants starting to form around the edge of the pot. So this is a plant that will grow naturally outwards, and if you don't divide it around every 3 to 5 years, you'll find the middle bit starts to die away and you're just left with a clump with a central bit that's dead. So you do need to lift it up and divide it every so often, but you can just get to see the way it does grow. And if I wanted to now, I could literally just take off these little side shoots here, these little plantlets, and pot them on and make more new plants. So I've got the original plant, and I could make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 7 smaller plants from this as well. But I'm not going to, because I want it to bulk up in the border. So instantly you can see the effect that I'm getting at, just filling this space. And when these come out, these flowers are going to be absolutely beautiful. Lovely daisy yellow flowers that flower all the way through into the autumn and have the most spectacular seed heads if you leave them in through the winter. So these won't be cut back until the spring, just like the rest of the border won't be. So I put that pride of place to signify where the whole clump is, and that's it. I'm going to get these watered, give them a really good watering in, and we'll see them in flower very, very soon, because these flower buds are definitely forming. Within a week or two we will get this, a lovely sea of yellow right behind me. This would perhaps normally be a plant for the middle of the border, but as you can see, I do have plants that are towering way above this. So this is why I'm planting this at the front. I don't want to have anything too low here and have that big massive gap of foliage before the next set of flowers. So this is why we brought this forward, which hopefully I feel will be perfect for this part of the border. Thank you so much for watching this video. I do hope you've enjoyed it, and if you do have some gaps in your borders, you might be thinking about ways of filling them out to get the best from them for the rest of the summer. So this is a really good idea. Please give me a like, please subscribe if you've not already subscribed to the channel, and if you do have any comments, please drop them in the comments box below. We will see you very soon on the next one. In the meantime, please do take care.